Hello there, I'm Muxiao, and in this video, I'll be matching AI that trained on Pong against each other. Now, to start off, I have to make the actual Pong game itself, which wasn't too hard. I'm the one controlling both sides because there's nobody to play with me. It's a pretty basic setup, and there's still a couple bugs where the ball gets stuck if it gets hit perpendicularly to the paddle. I think I can fix this through increasing the number of physics calculations.
No. Wait.
Surprisingly, that seemed to work and didn't make my computer explode. Whoops. Well, I didn't want to resort to this, but now there are spikes on the paddles. Now onto the AI of the paddle. For now, I'll just set both paddle Y positions directly to that of the ball's Y position, which works great. And of course I gotta try increasing the ball speed. I'm honestly surprised Unity is capable of this and not have the ball just teleport past the paddle. I assume these are somewhat accurate physics calculations since they are even after images. Next, I tried another method where the paddles have limited speed and only change directions based on the ball Y position, instead of directly setting their position to that of the balls. It jitters so much since the paddle moves in the direction of the ball, but goes too far since the velocity is kinda high, but then moves back again to correct itself, but moves it back too far again, and this cycle just repeats. And once the ball speed increases, at a certain point the paddles just miss all the balls. Now, time for proper AI. I mean, you could technically call the previous game code artificial intelligence, just depends on your definition. After following this amazing tutorial by the Ashbot, I learned how to use reinforcement learning using Unity's machine learning agents. Reinforcement learning is basically the AI performing random actions until it gets something right and is rewarded for it. Wrong actions get punished. This encourages it to maybe eventually accomplish what it needs to do. So I put the AI on one side and a paddle that goes up and down automatically on the other side. This will be generation 1. It takes in its current position and the ball's position. If the ball goes to the other side and scores a goal, then it'll get rewarded. If the ball gets into its own goal, then it will be punished. It'll also get rewarded a little bit if it hits the ball. And then I duplicated it so it learns a lot faster and let it train. There seemed to be some weird inconsistency on moving upwards. I guess maybe I noticed that the balls were more likely to bounce there, but it didn't seem to be doing so good, so I switched things up a bit. The AI now also takes in the ball's velocity and velocity magnitude into consideration, so it can maybe calculate the future position of the ball. Well, calculate is probably not the right word. The best case scenario would probably be it consistently guessing, making educated guesses that happen to match the ball's future position. I also made it so that the entire other side is just a wall, so that the AI can't score on the other side at all, and instead focuses on just hitting the ball and preventing it from going into its own goal. Which I mean accomplishes the same idea, and prevents the AI from getting rewards from not doing anything, since the automatic paddle was pretty unreliable. This would be the second generation. After 2 hours of learning, the AI doesn't really seem to have improved. I mean, the paddle would just touch the ball more frequently, but it's just so inconsistent, and nowhere being able to play against a real person. So then I changed a couple settings regarding the decisions that the AI can do. The learning improved a lot, and it actually hits the ball more often. This is now generation 3, and it got a lot more consistent over like maybe 45 minutes of training. It seemed to kind of match the Y position of the ball. And then I increased the speed randomly so that the paddle could train with faster ball speeds. Sometimes the speed is too fast for the paddle to copy, since I limited the paddle to a certain speed. So now in the best case scenario, hopefully the paddle will be able to predict the ball's future location. But that is pretty unlikely to happen with only a couple hours of training. Then for the next Generation 4, it started off with Generation 3's existing brain, but during training, it fought against Generation 3 brains. This didn't go as well as I thought it would. Unfortunately, this encountered the same problem as before. Sometimes it would score a goal without even touching the ball, which I think leads the AI to think that certain positions are just better for scoring goals, instead of trying to actually hit the ball. Next, for Generation 5, it started off with the same brain from Generation 4, but I allowed it to move on the x-axis, curious to see what it does. I did limit them inside of their own zones though, so they can't get up to any mischievous business. It seems that it learned to stick to the furthest X position from the ball, probably so that it gives them more time to react and move to hit the ball. Hey yo, this one is bug abusing. I don't even know how he gets there. Now after a couple hours, it's done. And let's finally have them fight each other. Alright then, this is Generation 1 versus Generation 2. Generation 1 is the white one, and 2 is the green one. And green seems to have already scored 2 points on the bottom. I don't really expect there to be a huge difference between these two. And I mean, Generation 1 is managing to actually get 2 points on top, but losing out on the bottom very heavily. And I guess we'll consider like whoever gets 10 points first will win. And on the bottom, Gen 2 already won. And it won on the top. And once the ball speed increases, like neither of them can really catch up. And next up is Gen 2 versus 3. 3 is the light blue color. Now I do expect this one to be much more favored than Gen 3, because their training was much more focused on actually hitting the ball. And I mean, I'm actually surprised Gen 1 and 2 actually know how to hit the ball, considering their less than stellar performance during training. Generation 3 also trained on faster speeds that were random. They seem pretty evenly matched so far, and now the balls are really speeding up. Oh yeah, actually seems like Gen 2 is getting a lot more points than, yeah, I guess Gen 2 won on top on the left side, and one on the bottom as well. That's interesting. I really expected Gen 3 to win this one. Well, let's redo that. Let's see if that was a fluke, because I'm pretty shocked. I think that was very heavily favored in Gen 3. The ball increases speed on every bounce slightly. Man, it is bouncing so slowly on the bottom. Once someone scores a goal, it'll go towards them to make it a little more fair. Like as in, if someone scores a goal into the right side, then the ball will come out spawning towards the left side. So the ball doesn't like just continuously like spawn in towards the right side. It does seem like Gen 2 is slightly better. I don't know. I mean, there's not much of a difference. Just 1 point. Alright, Gen 3 versus 4. Now, Gen 4 was the one that trained against other Gen 3 paddles during training, but I don't have much expectations. I don't think it really did learn much. Maybe even worse than Gen 3. Cause like Gen 3 definitely wasn't perfect. And when it allows goals from Gen 4 during training, then Gen 4 receives rewards when it honestly really shouldn't. Like sometimes if Gen 4 just does nothing, doesn't hit the ball, and the ball still goes into the other side's goal, then it'll receive a reward, which might make it think, you know, maybe certain like Y positions are just better, and focuses on moving towards that position instead of like trying to actually hit the ball. Yeah, that was not really good. And this is 4 versus 5. Wait a second. Gen 5 is supposed to be able to move on the x-axis. I gotta fix this. Alright, now it should be fixed. I'm pretty curious what it'll do. Okay, already has a goal. It seems to be like moving back once the ball comes towards its side, and then pushing it forward. Probably to like make the ball faster, which makes it like more likely to score a goal, I guess. Oh wow, it just scored on itself. Oh, wow, it just missed again on the bottom. I mean, it does seem pretty like Gen 5 favored. Oh, never mind. It just missed. And on top, the ball is just behind it. Like, once the ball is behind the paddle, like, it does not know what to do. Like, since that happens quite rarely, really rarely, that during training, that just, like, never happens. So it just doesn't have info on what to do for that. Let's try that again. I mean, all the AIs kinda suck, honestly. Like, the point difference is not much. I mean, technically, Gen 5 won. Interesting. Now, for fun, let's take Generation 1 versus 5. See if the difference is really big. I definitely expect Generation 5 to win pretty heavily. It's pretty even on the bottom so far. Oh, wow. If neither side scores a couple points in the early game, once the ball speeds up, like, neither side can really catch up to the fastball, so they really need to score points earlier when the ball is slow. And it was losing pretty heavily on the bottom side, but now it's pretty even. Not really. I mean, it just won on the top, reached 10 points first, but on the bottom, it didn't. Now I doubled both of their speeds, just to see what happens. Still Generation 1 versus 5. Now I don't think they'll do too well, since they were specifically trained on speeds of 5, and now I doubled it to 10. Yeah, it does not seem to be going well for Generation 5 on the bottom. Oh wow, Generation 1 is just beating him. And it won on the top. Yeah, they really just seem unaccustomed to these speeds. Like, I think that extra movement on the x-axis for Gen 5 just does not go well for it. Alright, final match. That's me against the AI. Surely I'll be able to win. Oh, what's... Oh, okay, what... Oh, wow, I'm trolling. Okay. Oh, well, I mean, technically I won. Alright, let's do that again. Alright, round 2. I think I'll have to rely on bouncing it. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to be able to deal with like very angled shots. But then nor can I. Oh. Well, that's gonna be stuck there for a while. And the AI really just doesn't know how to deal with when the ball is behind it. Never learned how to deal with this. Oh, now it's going back to its goal. This is the slowest goal of all time. Once that ball goes into the goal, it's gonna come out really fast. Yeah, one more time. Okay, it's pushing it forwards. Oh, 1 point. Oh, that was a close one. Nice. Man, you can really tell it's an AI paddle just by the way it moves. Oh, for a moment I thought I was gonna get 10-0. Like I was saying, it really just moves like so erratically. Like just no human would move like that. Like it just has so many inputs at the same time. Alright, yeah, I win. Now, the AI could definitely improve if I trained it longer, but that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.